This was the most horrible thing I woke up to this morning. There was, well, first of all, they're eating children. The government is coordinating a underground child sex trafficking ring for multimillionaires, which is fucking insane. As well as there was an email that was leaked this morning where there was a little girl who said that she felt very close to God and God would keep her safe. So they dressed her up as Jesus Christ as they brutally raped her. Like, these people are fucking horrible, right? And then everybody going after Donald Trump for like, oh, Donald Trump is this horrific human being. And then the emails leaked that he was the first person to whistleblow on Epstein. So like a lot of narratives are being blown out of the water right now, but one is not, which is, man, the people in charge are very corrupt. This shit is fucked up. And obviously, I would like to say, a lot of this information still needs to be provable. A lot of things are being said, and we still don't know the truth. But what is being said right now is incredibly uncomfortable. And the other thing is, I believe a lot of Americans feel powerless, and what they're consuming is they don't know if there's anything they can do about it. And to be honest, there's probably not a lot they can do about it. So we'll see if there is any justice. But apparently, the Epstein prison tapes were wiped by the FBI. So let's see why the fuck that is. It's surely not because Jeffrey Epstein is still a fucking alive. Like, I don't know, man. I do not believe that Epstein's dead. Let's get into it.
Now to some more of the revelations from the files themselves. Remember, these are the gifts that just keep on giving. Let's go ahead and put this up here on the screen. New released Epstein documents showing that the FBI agent purposely removed a hard drive from the jail video recording system and erased all the prison footage during the time of death. If you don't believe me, let me go ahead and read it directly from the transcript. Advised an FBI agent was the one who pulled out the DVR. Also advised he knew that by replacing both hard drives, the system would be wiped, and he had advised personnel at MCC of that. Continuing,
yeah, they
advised
probably
that
wouldn't
only
have to
one
do
hard
that
drive
if
of the
it
camera system was
actually
working
happened
at the time of the incident. When a DVR went bad, none of the cameras recorded. There was a system failure of DVR2 on July 29, 2019, and the motherboard failed on DVR2 on August 8, 2019. The hard drive failure occurred on August 10, 2019. After the incident, Blank was asked about the cameras. There were 2 new hard drives to install, but installing the new hard drives would mean that all prior data would be lost.
Dude, it's crazy right now, everybody realizing that all of these conspiracy theories from 10, 12 years ago are actually conspiracy facts. And that all of these things that the media was telling you to like dismiss and not pay attention to, you should have paid attention to. And the other thing is, and here's my also, you know, it's not good to say this on social media, but I'm going to say it anyways. Just wait for 5 to 6 years until you guys realize, or more people realize, how COVID, well, I don't really think COVID was what they said it was. And I believe it was a lot more coordinated than they let it out to be, because I will be real, and a lot of people are like me. I have never felt the same since I got the vaccine. People are going to call me crazy. In 5 years' time, people will understand what I'm talking about.
The warden wanted video, and so Blank was exactly what happened. They went ahead and wiped it. So there you go. All right, that's a new one. So we have the memo. We now have the DVR. So there's that. Now, if
and
we
the decoy body.
The decoy body, right? Which, I mean, I asked yesterday. Oh, I did put out a public call yesterday for sulfuric acid. I did say I would. So somebody actually did contact me, and here's the response they gave me. I did check, and it actually is part of their potential explanation. Seems to make sense. Is because it said RO plant, reverse osmosis is like, you know, it's like a water purification system. They said that RO plant could be a reference to reverse osmosis. That's a potential innocent explanation. I'm fine with innocent explanations. If you have innocent explanations for sulfuric acid and ocean tunnels and what else? The body decoys and...
How about cheese pizza and grape soda?
Broken...
We just really like pizza, guys. Like, what do you want me to say?
Cameras and hard and early memos that are drafted about deaths. I'm all ears.
About the blurry orange image on the video, missing minute, all of those things.
I'm ready to present full context anytime, any day that you would like. And yet, still to this day, DOJ, look, they're monitoring Thomas Massey's Twitter feed with a magnifying glass. They know about this early drafted memo. Where's your response? A routine we draft PR releases about all inmates. That's the day
you'd
before.
have to just go with like, we screwed up the date.
Yeah,
we were tired. We screwed up the date.
An intern screwed up the date. Oh, I mean, actually believable.
Maybe.
Honestly, like genuinely believable. But they won't even offer that. Nothing. So this is the latest one. Okay.
Wonder why that is.
Let's continue. B2, shall we? This is a very interesting one. Epstein installed secret cameras with the help of, quote, handy Russians. Love the British press and their spelling of pedophile. Credit card statements obtained by the Telegraph corroborate purchases of surveillance technology. Jeffrey Epstein ordered staff to install hidden cameras in his home after being told, quote, the Russians may come in handy, and they analyzed some of his credit card statements specifically to basically back up this allegation, both with the emails and the credit card.
Yeah,
what they show.
There's emails in there too, where he talks about, oh, they're really tiny, and I'm going to put them in some Kleenex boxes.
Listen to this. Epstein asked his pilot to buy 3 motion-detecting hidden cameras that record. That's a direct quote, okay? Direct quote.
Can you imagine somebody putting cameras inside somebody's houses just to fucking surveillance them and like watch them unbeknownst to them? Would that not be completely fucked up? That's fucking terrible, right?
3 motion detected hidden cameras that record. He also worked as a technician and general handyman across Epstein's properties. In an email on February 5, 2014, he said he had bought the cameras from a spy shop in Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Can you imagine?
And was, quote, figuring out how they work as they speak. On the same day as the hidden camera purchase, Epstein received an email from someone else whose name was redacted. Remember what we spoke about. If you want to put cameras in the house, it will have to be very discreetly done. The Russians may come in handy. Okay. So let's just start with that. So
it's obviously a code word for saying Russians are going to jerk you off.
One of the core claims of Epstein deniers is he never taped anyone and never blackmailed anyone. There you go. One of the core claims of Ghislaine Maxwell. Remember, everybody's forgotten this, but we've already proven it.
I guarantee you Ghislaine Maxwell is going to commit suicide in the next month. Calling it now. Corner and the Tectone was right, Jar. Be ready.
Incorrect. I built those houses from scratch. There's no cameras. Anyway, except all of the photos. It's actually not very good. I have a cold right now, so I can't do the true posh British accent. But you've got hidden cameras in the bedrooms. You got hidden cameras everywhere else. She's a liar. She literally perjured herself in that interview. Doesn't matter. Again, everybody just moves on. But you've got hidden cameras. Then you had the FBI. Initial, remember the 2019 raid of the Epstein property. They found all those DVD discs, CDs, and all that stuff, which was all labeled with some of the people. Nobody ever heard about that. No files on that one. Huh? Interesting.
Yep.
Maybe it'll be redacted. You could maybe argue.
I also believe that like full sunlight needs to be shown on these files. Releasing these things half cooked does nothing. Remove all black bars. Remove everything, bro, and just let it fucking ride. Let's see the dominoes where they fall. Okay, all these fucking documents with all this fucking missing info is complete bullshit. And the worst thing is, if you look into every court case, the parts that are black barred are usually the most important parts and are usually used to protect the people who are in the wrong. That's just my opinion. If you ever read any type of document and there's all these black bars, you should be asking yourself, why are there these black bars here if it's not someone's government name or their address? Why are they sealed? What are they hiding? It's very important to notice.
What's the innocent explanation? That he liked to tape himself, having sex? And others, yeah, maybe. I mean, if that's not all that innocent, though. If you're going to see, I don't know, a memorialized memo to yourself about STDs with Bill and Melinda Gates.
The only black bar I want out is that Tectone while he was jerking it on Twitch. Base, brother. Get that on my OnlyFans.
That seems pretty sketchy, don't you think? And so you put this all together, and I mean, I don't know. I just continue to think some of the most maximalist conspiracy claims that have been made around this,
not conspiracy theories, conspiracy facts,
are basically all just correct. And that's what
there it is.
I continue, with the hidden cameras, the FBI's handling of the entire thing. You would have to believe in competence like to the 10th power to come to the, reasonable explanation that he just killed himself this entire time.
I find it insane how people were letting people know about the pizza factories and the pizza shops, about how there was children being sex trafficked underneath, and none of them were investigated. Yet I've been swatted twice now within 30 minutes of people saying that I had 8 people upstairs and they were kidnapped and I was raping them. Because the police came to my house very quickly, right? And that shit fucking sucked. Yet you're going to say all these people are going to report on these pizza places and nobody checked them out? Very interesting. Crazy. What the fuck? Yeah, why do you think I had to move, guys? Why do you think I had to move? Like, bro, there was even people stalking Sophia at her gym. It was terrible, bro. It was fucking terrible. That happened to you? Yes, I tweeted about it forever ago. It was fucking nuts. There were legit people trying to fucking kill me because they believe the shit they see on the internet. And it's very simple. If any of that shit were true, I'd be in fucking jail. If any of that shit were true, the police wouldn't have suspended their investigation on me. But they did because they know it's bullshit. But people don't want to accept that as the reality. And so they're trying to fuck me over and everybody else a part of my life over.
I just don't buy it anymore.
We've got another billionaire, too, who is implicated here. And,
it's me. I'm the billionaire. Okay, never mind. They're about to say some bad stuff. Never mind.
Caught dead to rights, lying about the extent of his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. This is Andrew Farkas, who was not a figure I was particularly familiar with, but he is, I think part of this family, very wealthy. He was campaign chairman for Andrew Cuomo a number of times. So very, high level in New York society. You can put this up on the screen from the New York Times. They say that the billionaire exchanged nearly 2,000 emails with the sex offender Jeffrey Epstein over more than a decade, revealing deeply personal thoughts about life, loneliness, and growing old, kept their relationship from his investors apparently confident. All the links between Epstein and himself, including the business they were partners in, and the trips he had made to visit Mr. Epstein in jail would never be disclosed. But the release of 3 million additional pages of the Epstein files on January 30th made it clear that the billionaire and the New York real estate mogul Andrew Farkas had a profound friendship with Mr. Epstein, who he called one of the blessings.
If I was a billionaire and my last name was Farkas, I would pay money to change that shit, bro. Your name sounds retarded.
In his life, and one of the bravest men I've ever known. Their relationship played out in the trading of deep confidences, swapped introductions to powerful people, and visits to Mr. Epstein's island, the documents show. And their business partnership was a mutually beneficial real estate deal that helped Mr. Epstein save millions of dollars in taxes. So not only were they close friends, exchanging thousands of emails, visits to the island, they were also business partners.
This, by the way, the tax thing, I still remain think is bullshit. All right, because if you are a billionaire, you have access to the wealth houses of Goldman Sachs and Deutsche and Morgan Stanley. I mean, you are talking about the best of the best of the best tax lawyers in the world. Why do you need to hire a basically illiterate imbecile who can barely spell and who, from all of his millions of emails, I have not found one actual expert piece of tax advice beyond taking an article written by an accountant and sending it to his...
I am never going to trust a man who's wearing 2 watches. What the fuck is he doing? And in what world do you need 2, brother? Okay. Quit with the subtle flexing, man. We're going to territories that make me very uncomfortable.
Accountant saying maybe we should try this.
Yeah.
It's not tax advice. I can absolutely guarantee you. I can only
It's
speculate.
dual-wielding,
Again,
bro.
this is my own speculation
Single-minded
based upon
fury.
my review. I think he was an expert at money laundering. And in particular, and I'm talking about real money laundering on behalf of the intelligence community, the CIA, and yes, also of the ultra wealthy. Once you become very good at moving money around to reduce your tax liability, that's not tax advice. That's called fraud. All right. So that's what I think that he was overall.
He had a very, very high level criminal mind.
Yeah.
Dude, I wish I have gotten to the point where I could avoid taxes, bro. Like, I remember I amassed like $1.1 million in tax debt over the course of 3 years. Right, bro. I wish I knew how to do what these billionaires do. I don't get how they do it, man. I don't get it.
And
insider trading. I mean, this is, and again, to even call it criminal is funny because it's not really a crime if you get away with it.
Well, it's not a crime if every elite in the entire world sanctions it and is participating in the crime, then guess what? I guess it doesn't really count. And I mean, not just through the insider trading and, apparent money laundering, these sorts of things, but just the whole way he would look at the world. See a country failing or going to war and think like, oh, this is my opportunity to profit. Realizing, talking to wealthy, powerful people and saying, look, this chaos, this collapse, this is good for us. This is how we consolidate even more wealth, even more power. This game is easy. Like, that's the type of thinking that, yes, he was very good at that type of thinking.
why are you gassing up a sex offender? Like, bro, this is the bad guy. Why are we low-key glazing Jeffrey Epstein? Can we, like, just say that he was bad? Like, what are we doing here, man?
Any sort of intricate tax planning, financial advice. No, that's not what was fundamentally going on here.
Exactly right. So look, again, I'm not alleging in any way that Mr. Farkas was engaging in that type of behavior. This is purely an opinion on Mr. Epstein himself. So let's continue, shall we? Whenever it comes to some of the new releases. By the way, again, my great love, respect for the UK. God, I love these people. This is a full-blown crisis.
The UK is a fucking mess right now, bro. They're experiencing what the US is experiencing to like the 10th degree. The UK, it's crazy how white people are becoming a minority in every country that they conquered, bro. It's actually nuts.
It may take down the monarchy and the...
You can hang every flag in the world in the UK besides the UK flag, and the police will take that shit down.
Monarchy must survive. And that's why the king himself, very willing to strip his own brother of titles, completely throwing him under the bus. Let's go to the next one and put this up here on the screen. King Charles releasing a new statement, profound concern and complete cooperation with the police authorities over, quote, Mr. Mountbatten Windsor's conduct. That's how they refer to his very own brother. While the specific claims are in question for Mr. Mountbatten Windsor to address, if we are approached by the Thames Valley Police, we stand ready to support them as you would expect. The Valley Police are confirmed it is assessing now whether there are grounds to investigate a complaint by a group which reported that Mountbatten Windsor is suspected misconduct in public office and a breach of official secrets. So I did talk a little bit about this yesterday, but the details are actually really worth going into because it connects back to the tax advice stuff I just talked about and how he really made his money. He's not a master trader, insider trading. That's it. But by the way, that's incredibly lucrative if you're friends with the wealthiest and most powerful people in the world. So let's go to the next one, just to give you an example. The current investigation in Britain is claims that the former Prince Andrew shared sensitive reports with Epstein. So this is from a November...
I think Epstein actually knew every single human being on Earth. I want to remind you that I'm in the Epstein files 9 times. I want to remind you that Markiplier is in the Epstein files. This shit, bro. Who did this man not know?
2010 email exchange that appeared to show the royal sharing, quote, visit reports after a Southeast Asia trip. All right, so this focuses on some emails that were provided, in some of the.
There was an FBI agent who has the same name as me, but it's funny to see my name in the Epstein files 9 times.
Police. The email chain, quote, appears to show the former prince forwarding Epstein visit reports from Vietnam, Singapore, Hong Kong, and Shenzhen, and one email, who was signed as a special advisor, appeared to contain an attached document file and was forwarded to Epstein within 5 minutes of receipt. Now, all of these documents appear to basically be like summaries either of the prince's visit, but the reason why it's important is that he was acting as the trade advisor of the UK at the time. So in multiple of these emails, they tell Epstein that he was planning trips to various different countries, what he was doing, and potentially what he saw. This is information, right? For a prince, he gets to probably meet with some of the, very high-level officials, other heads of state, and gets to meet with local executives and then forward some of that information along. This would be a breach, obviously, acting in his official duties, not nearly as bad as, Lord Mandelson being like,
I love hearing about all these government officials who are like doing highly illegal shit. And guys, I'm going to be real. We're going to see 0 punishments for all of them. They're going to go inactive on Twitter. People are going to forget, and nobody's going to be held accountable.
Like, hey, we're going to bail out the government, just so you know, just so you can go ahead and trade on that information and tip off Jamie Dimon so that he can get involved in this entire thing. But it's still scandalous, and it just shows information is currency. Information at the highest levels, it is, enables them to manipulate and work the world in whatever way that they possibly want. And this is, again, the smallest, tiniest glimpse. I still think it's just the eye of the needle in terms of what really is out there.
Yeah. That's exactly right. And I mean, it's just so wild to me that the first instinct of Mandelson when they're deliberating about how to respond to the financial crisis is
And this is the reason why the world and the U.S. economy is so fucked up, is because when all the people who have the money have all the information to make more money, they can keep themselves at the top while holding everybody else down. Because if you know what to invest in, because you control the investments, then your money becomes never ending. Because you know exactly where to go. You know exactly what moves to play. Whereas everybody down below, it's a guessing game. It's a crapshoot. It's a game of waiting and patience. Whereas everybody else says, oh yeah, just put it here and you'll see a 40% increase in 2 weeks. Right here, 30% increase. And we're all going to do this. It's like a bunch of coordinated rug pulls like they do for crypto, like Beast Coin. You know, like all of these content creators who got shit for doing crypto rug pulls, it's the same shit, but on a daily basis with the stock market. It's terrible.
Some confidential info. Let me send it to Jeffrey Epstein. That was like the first instinct there, allegedly, and being investigated currently. You also found, Sagar, some more information about potential Epstein CIA ties, courtesy of his former bodyguard.
That's right. I'll tell you this. I was not aware. I'm pretty deep, and I'm ashamed to say I was not aware of this lore. Let's go and put this up here on the screen. Credit to Tara Palmieri. We've talked to her before. She has her own Substack. You can go and subscribe to it if you're interested. She also is very similar background. She was part of the mainstream media. She went independent, and she actually did a pretty deep dive into the Epstein case years ago when it was not all that popular. So I really trust her.
Very legit reporter, Tara.
For sure, exactly.
Yeah,
and that's why
dogged.
Anybody who came to this before it was popular, those are the people I respect. These are like the Julie K. Browns, Tara Palmieris, and others. So here's what she said. She said, quote, when a rare glimpse inside of Epstein's network of protection, from a chilling warning to a secret trip to Langley, and why the government kept victims in the dark. And so this was apparently
because the government kept the victims in the dark because it's the government who made them victims.
Traces back to an interview that she did with Brad Edwards. He was a lawyer for Epstein's victims. It is a conversation that Edwards had with Epstein's bodyguard of 5 years, Igor Zinoviev, who warned him to back off, quote, because of Epstein's shadowy connections to the U.S. government. Zinoviev said, "You don't know who you're messing with. You need to be really careful. You are on Jeffrey's radar, and somebody that Jeffrey pays a lot of attention to, which is not good. You don't want to be on his radar." And quote, I said, "Give me some examples. Who am I messing with?" Edwards recalled, and that's when he looked across the table and whispered 3 letters, CIA. And he talks actually about how while Epstein was serving his 2008 sentence, how he actually was sent there on multiple information trips, like to pick up information from Langley. He didn't seem to fully explain some of this, what was going on. And again, this is kind of hearsay. It's Brad, the lawyer for the victims, who's talking on behalf of a conversation he had with Zinoviev. But, nonetheless, that is very extraordinary. I do believe that Tara did either FOIA or call the CIA press office and, quote, have not received any confirmation or denial of these mysterious visits in 2008. But nonetheless, it does back up. Like, you have a bodyguard basically warning off a lawyer. Here's the thing, whether it's true or not, there was enough of there, at least, for him to be credibly trying to make that threat of like, hey, you're messing with some very powerful people when you're getting involved here. And then all of these talks about trips to Langley, Virginia back in 2008. So again, I was not aware of this particular part of Epstein lore. And just to add, another feather in the cap for the case.
Yeah, well, we also have...
Yeah, well, I think we can go ahead and just go ahead and make the correct assumption, which is everybody at the top is corrupt. Billionaires will continue to get richer, and if you think Jeffrey Epstein is still alive, you're trolling at this point. We're at a point in America where conspiracy theories are conspiracy facts.